It's important to pay attention to the time of year and what the deer are doing when you set up for your hunt. With a change of food, weather, or hunting pressure, you may need to adjust your strategy to make it work. Now, with a touch of fall in the air, let's join Jackie Bushman as he returns to the mountains of Pennsylvania to bow hunt with his good friend George Warner of Hill Country Whitetails. The combination of agriculture and rolling hardwood hillsides is the perfect mix for some interesting setups. Late in the day, a heavy antlered buck comes from behind Jackie's stand. Instead of passing on the trail that would have taken him right by the stand, the buck angles up the ridge and out of sight. A short while later, another nice buck comes up a trail toward Jackie's tree. He's a perfect 10 with matching sticker points on his second tines. He goes out of sight, but a doe steps out of the thick cover. As she moves toward the stand, the buck with sticker points comes behind her. The 12-point follows the same trail the doe used and stops right in the opening. Jackie is waiting for the right shot when suddenly another buck comes into the picture.
Made a good shot on him. We're gonna go down and see what he looks like. Looks like a good buck. The other buck was right in front of us, but I couldn't get a good shot at him. The doe, he was running the doe, and all of a sudden, this other buck came from, behind us, and he came right out in front. I didn't see him, and I heard something behind me. I looked, and I could see him, and I was wondering why the buck was acting kind of funny. And it was the other buck coming in on this doe, but made a good shot. Let's go down and see what he looks like.
Folks, isn't this a great 8-point? I mean, look at that. The beams, good brow tines. Look at the neck on this whitetail right here. They are really in rut. We had a great afternoon, got out early about 2:30. It rained all morning long. Wind was blowing pretty hard, probably 25 to 30 mile an hour gust. And we saw two real good bucks, two good shooter bucks, but the problem was they came right under the tree or presented shots just straight onto me. I never could get them to get broadside. And they were chasing the does in and out of here. And finally the 12-point, he was chasing a doe right in front of us. And she came out and he came out right behind him. And all of a sudden, he kept looking at something behind us. And I just kind of glanced down like that and looked, and here this buck was coming to take the doe away. And he's down there rubbing on a tree. And finally, he cut right out in front of me, probably looked like 15 to 20 yards. It gave me a great broadside shot. I was fortunate to make a good shot. And this is the end result. Isn't that a great buck? We've had a great afternoon. I'm gonna get him tagged up and go get the four-wheeler and we'll get him on out of here. Boy, that's a great deer. Look at the neck on that whitetail. Man, oh man, oh man.
Now let's join Buckmaster staff members Russell Thornberry and Alan Brewer as they prepare for an early season bow hunt in Montana.
See the tracks up and down here. Boy, look at them crossing right in here.
Hitting the corner of this.
Boy, that's a big set right there.
Look at that.
Coming up in here to these beats, let's check around that and see.
Oh, bingo.
I think we found the corner of the buffet right here.
Something's making a lot of deer tracks.
Gosh, look at them in here. Woo. Look how they've eaten the beets down right here.
Look at this.
Oh, yeah. The tops of them.
Well, they are. They're eating the beet greens. I didn't know they ate that. They ate a lot of that.
And you got the corn right there past it, so they just got it all right here.
Man, oh man. Look at this, Alan. It's a highway of deer tracks coming in here. That notch. What do you think?
That little drop in there? You know, we need to walk it out to where it hits the woods and see if we can't find us a good tree over there.
It's just a perfect deal. The timber runs all the way to the corner, and then...
You know, we could use that morning or afternoon, because you could sneak around behind, catch them coming out in the morning, catch them coming
Let's
to
see
it
if
in
the
the evening.
cottonwood gods will give us a break.
Let's try that. I
believe this will work.
I think this is the main trail, don't you?
I mean, Maine, look at this thing, man, like a highway going right under the fence.
Right down to the cottonwoods.
cottonwoods.
Well, with all those big cottonwoods down there, there's bound to be one we can use.
I don't know, man, if we can, the way this setup is, I mean, we're coming and going and hitting up into the beet field. It's kind of a no-brainer if we can do it without getting knocked off with the doe or something, so.
Well, I think the main thing is we can slip in behind there in the mornings or the evenings and catch them either way. I think it'd be a good morning or afternoon stand.
Well, let's get a stand in there and then we'll arm wrestle who gets to sit in it.
Okay.
After getting their stand set up for the next morning, Russ and Alan put up a stand to take a few practice shots.
Oh man, we'll be at hunting height then.
Makes climbing a tree a whole lot easier.
Russ, the thing that's good about these is the steps are for a short man as well as a tall man. You and Jackie always set them up where I have to work myself to death to get up, but I've got it made with this.
The neat thing is that you've got these sections, so you're always you can be sure you're the same height that you want to be and you practice from.
Yeah, I mean, we can practice exactly the same height as where our stands out in the field will be.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, Russ, I think this is good and secure. Why don't you come on up and take a few shots. This will be right at the height that we set all our other stands up, so it'll all be perfect. Russ, I can barely even see you up there. This may be a good location for a stand. It's a perfect setup.
It's an awful lot of work if it isn't.
Well, you got
what do we got, 20 yards?
You got your perfect 20-yard shot here.
All right, the dream shot.
Early the next morning, after having lost the toss for the setup close to the field, Russ heads deep into the woods, where he'd be overlooking a trail in the thick willow brush. He sits back and waits. Meanwhile, Alan was comfortably settled in his stand, just off the edge of the field, as the first few deer begin to filter back through the cottonwoods. A doe passes right under his tree, and a small buck browses on some overhanging branches. As Alan watches the young 8-point, a big buck steps out about 30 yards from his stand. The buck passes by and walks right through an opening. Alan felt confident about making the shot, but was not prepared for what happened next. By the time he recovered, the buck was out of range. And as if to taunt Alan from a distance, the buck puts on a real show. Russell's day started before sunrise as a small buck slowly feeds along the willow brush. Russ takes another look with his binoculars, then catches a sound to his right. A good buck steps out of the brush and walks down the trail in front of the stand. The 10-point went down within sight of the stand, and Russell goes to take a look at his buck. Mike Ingold of Mackenzie Targets joins Jackie in Montana as they prepare for the hunt by taking a few practice shots. The next morning, Mike was in his stand well before daylight. The first deer through was a small buck. He passes on a trail to the left of the stand. A good buck shows up straight ahead, but instead of coming on through, he beds down. Another buck slips past to the right of the stand. And several more swing wide along the edge of the river. As a couple of does come by, the buck that was bedded gets up. The deer all come down a well-used trail that should bring them right to Mike. Tension rises as the buck heads straight for the stand. Pleased with the shot, Mike climbs down and goes to take a look at his buck. Mike admires his deer and later is joined by Jackie.
Mike, you obviously had a great morning, didn't you?
I had a wonderful morning. It was great.
Well, tell me what all happened.
Well, we saw quite a few does early, and then we saw a group of about 5 bucks. We saw a pretty nice buck come by us, but it was a little bit too far to shoot. And then these deer started, this deer and about 4 other does and a smaller buck, they started working toward us. It took them a long time to get to us, but they worked down some trails, and trails kind of split, and the does kind of went on, and he was following them, and he got to standing around and grazing, and the does went on by, and he just followed them right on up to us, and he gave us a good shot, and we made a good shot on him. And
well,
here he is.
what time was it?
It was about 9 o'clock. We saw deer.
So that was late.
Yeah, we saw deer early and all the way up until about 9 o'clock.
Well, they stay up in those sugar beet fields, and they just kind of make their way down through the cottonwoods.
Yeah,
they kind of take their time.
We could see some at a distance, and some come right by us. We saw quite a few deer.
Well, I was right down below you, probably 200 or 300 yards. I kept hearing all this racket up in the woods. I mean, what was going on up in there?
That was probably me shaking. God, once the sun come up, it got cold. It got cold.
I told you didn't have enough. I put all these heat packs in my bandana, and you're going, no, it ain't gonna be cold. I told you to get cold.
I got my big jacket on, but I believe I could have used just a little bit more right there at daylight.
Well, that's great, man. I'm proud of you. I hope you had a great trip.
Oh, it was great. This is a beautiful place. Nice deer. This has been a great hunt.
Bow hunting's a lot of fun.
It is. It's wonderful.
Hey,
it's great.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Our next trip is to South Texas, where Jackie joins James Bass of Trophy Outfitters on an early December rifle hunt.
Pretty well used trail right there, and yeah, they're coming in and out of this cleared country in here that we open up, and you'll get this new growth and all coming up. Getting some rain, a little mist and all this morning. Ought to be a pretty good morning to try to rattle. We'll hit. These bucks seem like they're starting to scrape a little bit and chousing these does, so we'll go in and work around some of these fields a little bit, some of our oak patches and all, see if we can't rattle up some deer this morning.
All right. Hunt orange isn't required, right?
No, not in Texas.
All right. I'll just put this on anyway. Just keep everything safe.
Yeah.
Now, have you rattled yet this year?
No, this is going to be our first time. It's, it's early December right now, and but the weather's starting to break, and we're starting to see a little activity out of them, and we're going to give it a try and see what happens.
Okay. See how good you really are.
Well, we'll give it a try.
The bucks responded surprisingly well to the rattling, but James felt they could do better. The next morning, the fog was heavy and held close to the ground. Visibility was bad, so James tried rattling to see what he could stir up. Almost immediately, a buck steps into the roadway. He takes a second look, then comes on the run. He runs in for a closer look. Then circles to see what is going on. Jackie spots a tremendous buck, just barely visible in the fog. The buck is curious, but cautious, and decides he doesn't want any part of the action. No matter how hard James tries, this old buck is just not going to fall for it this time. Later in the week, Jackie tries one of the ground blinds set up along a green field. A nice buck pushes a couple of does out of the thick mesquite brush.
Nice buck. He was chasing the does right there. Oh, man. Came from the far corner. We had about 4 or 5 does out there. I was just waiting for him to stop. Looks like I made a good shot on him. Go see what he is in just a second.
Man, what a deer. Look at the body size on this whitetail. Boy, boy, oh boy, look at this. Look at this buck. Man, boy, he has really been tearing the trees up. Look at how big the face. But he has really been in some major league fights, it looks like. Well, we've had a fun week here with James. They do a great job, their whole staff. We rattled in some bucks. We got fogged out a few mornings, and this is the next to last morning we had a chance to hunt, so it just seems like it all worked. But we had a great week, and if you really want to have some fun and see a lot of deer and hunt a lot of different styles, this is the place to come. Oh man, great deer.
It's just prior to the rut as Jackie prepares for an afternoon hunt along a green field in Alabama. Even though it has a slightly limited range compared to the modern rifle, the shotgun is a very effective choice for many hunters. Early in the afternoon, a doe comes out of the woods and heads straight for the stand. A few minutes later, a buck appears in the edge of the woods, right where the doe had come out. Jackie expects the buck to step out into the open also, but after crossing the ditch, he walks down the woods line. He apparently decided to freshen up his scrapes before coming to the field. Sometime later, Jackie spots movement in the trees. He recognizes the buck as the one he had seen earlier. The buck comes straight toward the stand, but gets behind a tree.
Straight down that slope. Let's get out and see what it looks like.
Man, look at this buck. Wow, 8-pointer. But look at that, folks. Shotgun slug. Well, I tell you, we had a great afternoon. We were sitting there early in the afternoon and a doe came right out, right on the cedar tree where there's a path that comes across the creek right there. And we always look at that cedar tree because that's where the trail is. And a doe came out. Wasn't 5 minutes later, we saw the buck over there. And we said, golly, he's gonna follow her right out. And this is really early in the afternoon. Well, on our side of the creek right there, and he just started making scrapes and working his way up the creek, and we just couldn't get a good shot at him. That's about 125 yards. I wanted to come on out Wheat and Cloverfield, so he just went on down the creek. He was making scrapes. I said, well, just not meant to be. Well, later in the afternoon, some more does came out here in the Wheat Cloverfield, and it seems like, I don't know, about an hour later, he came in right behind them, and he fed on the field, and he was coming right to us. Couldn't see him for the video because he was behind the trees, but finally he came out right there on the edge and gave me a good broadside shot, and I was fortunate to make a good shot. You can see we've got some mud on his tines right there. Feels real muddy here, but it just rained hard last night, but we were fortunate to get this great buck. Look at that, 8 points. This is the same field that my son Jackie got his good 9-pointer in, so must have some good genetics right here in this field. There's nothing like hunting with a shotgun slug. I know a lot of folks have to do it across the country, but it is a great alternative to get a chance to do some shotgun hunting. Like I said, I hadn't done it in a long time. I did a lot last year, but let me get back and get the 4-wheeler. That's a great deal. Look at that. Man, oh man, oh man.
It was mid-October and the deer were looking fine as Paul Meeks of API Tree Stands joined Jackie on his Montana bow hunt. Paul chose several stand sites throughout the week, dependent on the wind direction and time of day. He saw a lot of deer activity and a couple of pretty nice bucks, but narrowing it down to the right tree and getting within range proved to be a little more difficult than he first thought. The bucks are starting to show signs of early rut activity by marking their territory. The deer move well all week, but still nothing comes quite within range. Jackie had the same problem, as the deer always seemed to swing wide of his stand location. But then, events turned in his favor as the buck that had passed by out of range comes into the brush behind the stand. The buck was just a little farther than Jackie thought. It was a blustery morning as Paul sits in his stand the last day of the hunt. The only thing that moved all morning was a spike. Not a great day to be bow hunting. Then late in the morning, Paul spots a good buck in the thick brush. The deer are angling away. The buck bolts from cover, stands in the open right beside the stand. Paul watches the direction and path the buck takes. A little while later, Jackie comes to meet Paul as planned.
Man, it's cold.
Man, am I glad to see you.
Why?
I
You
just
did
shot
not.
a
You're telling the tale.
I'm
The
telling
wind's
you,
blowing 30 miles an hour. I ain't seen a
it
deer.
is a major buck.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Shot about 30 minutes ago.
Really?
But I was
Don't
gonna
pull
wait.
my leg. You've been pulling my leg all week.
No, I'm serious. It
Shaking.
is-
You must have shot something.
It's a good deer.
All right, where'd he go, man?
Well, I shot him right back here,
Uh-huh.
and he went down this trail.
Oh, so he went across
Yeah.
the water then?
Yeah, he's
All right,
crossed.
well, let's pick up this trail right here and then we'll catch it on the other side.
Okay.
You sure you ain't pulling my leg?
Impossible.
All right.
They have no trouble following the trail right to Paul's buck.
Man, that's a great buck.
Is that something or
That's
what?
a great buck. Put that back up. Man, look at the body size on him, huh?
I'm telling you.
Man, what
You know, I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was that big.
Golly,
That
look
is
at the
a
size of that.
fine deer, isn't he?
Well, I tell you, he's broke one off right there. He's 20-something inches. Look at the forky brow tines. You know, Russell took a nice buck right in this area last year. Same thing, forky brow tines. Same
Maybe
genetics.
it's in the genetics here.
Gotta be.
Tell
Look
you.
at the body size of this whitetail. Tell me he hadn't been eating those sugar beets.
Made my day.
Golly.
Made my year.
Made your life.
Really?
That is a great deer.
And you know, I had no idea we'd see anything today.
You know, the wind's blowing 30 miles an hour, and took me everything to do to get you out of bed this morning.
I'm telling you. But you know, this deer came by with some does, and after he got by, well, there was a coyote came by.
Oh, coyote was pushing.
And the coyote went on in the woods with him.
Uh-huh.
And just a few seconds later, he came back out and ran right under the stand.
Oh, man. Well, you made a great shot on him. A
It's
great
just
shot.
meant to be.
Hey, we had fun this week, didn't we?
You bet.
You saw some good deer.
I love it.
Hey, and last day,
Really.
fourth quarter, you the man.
All right.
That's a great buck. I tell you what,
Okay.
you get him tagged up, I'll run back and get the four-wheeler,
Okay.
and I'll come back and we'll get him loaded up. Man, I'm
All
proud of
right.
that. That's a great buck. I'll be back just a little bit.
Okay.
After helping Paul with his tremendous buck, Jackie went to a stand for his last afternoon hunt. The weather had not improved. In fact, it seemed even to be getting worse, but he was encouraged and a little surprised to see a small buck working its way through the open timber. A big buck appears on the edge of the thick brush. As Jackie watches, a young 8-point comes out about 100 yards beyond his stand. And right behind it is the big buck that was making the scrape just a moment ago. Another good-looking buck steps out on the same trail. This buck appears to be in no hurry and doesn't go on through like the others. Jackie admires the unique 9-point from a distance, when suddenly he comes to attention as a couple of does pass under the stand. One quick glance at the does, and Jackie gets ready. The buck comes straight for the stand.
Folks, isn't this a great buck? Unfortunately, last night when we shot, we couldn't get to him quick enough to show him to you last night just because we lost all our light for the camera. Look at that. Look at the beams on him. Isn't that unique right there? But we've really had a great week here in Montana. We've had a lot of things happen to us. We've had some opportunities that just didn't work. I unfortunately missed one, which y'all see me do often as far as my bow hunting career is concerned. But these deer were, you know, as I said, they were going from the sugar beets back to the bedding areas, and we were just trying to get in their transitional zones. And this particular afternoon, the wind was really blowing 25, 30 mile an hour, and the wind chill was down in the teens, and buddy, it was cold. But the deer got up early, and we had some bucks out in front of us, right out in front of the sagebrush out there. And we were trying to make a decision whether to go to stand number 1 or stand number 2. We were on this row of cottonwoods, and the thicket was right out in front of us where they bed. So we decided to go to stand number 1. Well, when the bucks got through feeding on the buckbrush right there and were making their way to the sugar beets, the 2 really nice bucks came out and they started going to stand number 2, and we were going, oh God, we made the wrong decision. And then this buck came out right behind them and just stopped and started feeding right there. So it seems like this went on for about 10 or 15 minutes, and I was really getting cold. And all of a sudden, 2 does came out of the thicket right in front of us and walked right under the stand. And he saw them and came right to us, and he came right up that hill. And the problem is he ran right up that hill to us. And I was hoping he'd just come up there real slow, kind of like the does did. Like grunted at him the first time, he didn't stop, and then finally he got right close, right on the stand. I grunted him at it again. I was fortunate to make a nice shot. And this is the end result of a lot of hard work and a lot of hours we put in here in Montana. But look at the beam on him, isn't that's very unique. Got great brow times, but nothing like bow hunting. And as I said, we just had a great week here. Great deer.
Cold weather and snow are usually part of a late November hunt in Alberta, Canada. But this year is a little different as Jackie glasses the area he plans to hunt. He wants to know where the deer are traveling before placing his stand. It was an interesting couple of days as Jackie selects a tree with good visibility, which happens to be right next to an old stand site. The bucks were on the move and felt secure in the thick brush. Some pretty good deer passed within sight of the stand, but did not offer the opportunity for a clear shot. Then there were those that did. It's difficult to watch every direction, but as Jackie turns, he catches movement in the poplars across the slough. A couple of does step in an opening. And right behind them is a good buck.
He's down. Man. Last minute buck again. This is the second year in a row. Last afternoon, last 10 or 15 minutes. Looks like a pretty good buck. Pretty good buck. Man.
Jackie doesn't waste any time going to look at the buck.
Man, folks, what a great buck. Look at that. He's a 10. Got some kickers here. Broke off his brow tine right there. Still gonna make him a 10. But I tell you, we saw a lot of bucks the last few days, and we just passed up. I mean, you probably think I'm crazy passing up all the deer. But when you come to Alberta, you know, this is what you're looking for. This is what you're hunting for. You don't want second best. You want to try to get the best and the best deer you can. And this comes down to the last afternoon, last 5 or 10 minutes of shooting light. And he steps out chasing the doe right there. Man, oh man, what a great buck. Look how dark his horns are. Look at the tine length on this buck right here. Oh man, look at the body size. Nothing like hunting Canadian whitetails. Well, this one will definitely go on the wall. Oh man. Let me get him tagged up. It's a great, great buck. Man, what a great buck. Well, folks, we just got through hunting. Sorry we had to do this again. It's the second year in a row. But last afternoon, last 5 minutes of shooting light, and this is a great, great buck that we got right here. It is a good buck, Brock. Huh? And one of these days, you're going to grow up and be a big buckmaster, right? And you're going to get a buck like this, aren't you? Aren't you? You're the a man. He's a man. That's my buddy Brock right here. He watches all the TV shows, all the videos. He knows them all word by word, don't you? Huh? Attaboy. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Buckmaster's Action Bucks video series. We look forward to bringing you more exciting hunting adventures in future videos. Until then, hunt safe, hunt ethically, and remember, deer hunting has a name. Buckmasters.